Welcome, children, to another Bible story time. And Wooly wants to say hello too. And he wants you to know what a lovely time he's had this morning. He's been running around in the paddock with 4 of his friends who have taught him a new game. In this game he runs and he stops, he runs and he stops, and he runs and he stops. Do you know what game that might be? I think it's red light, green light, isn't it, Wooly? And Wooly loves playing it. Well, you know what, Wooly? Today we're going to hear a story about a man who could not play red light, green light, even if he had wanted to. So are you ready to listen, Wooly? Well, you say goodbye to the children. You can see them another time. Our story today comes from Mark's Gospel, and it is set in a town called Capernaum. Jesus had just arrived in that town. And when the people of Capernaum heard that Jesus was around, many of them went to the house he was staying in. They wanted to see this man who could stop a storm and who could heal very many sick people. In another part of the town was this man who could not play red light, green light, even if he had wanted to. You see, this man's legs were paralyzed. That means his legs could not move. He couldn't walk or run or work. His friends had to bring him food and water. And look how sad the man looks. Well, on this particular day, the man's 4 best friends came to visit him, and they were very excited. "Come on," they said, "we are going to take you to see Jesus, because we know that Jesus can make you walk again and be happy." So the 4 friends picked up the man on his bed, and they each took a corner of the bed and walked out of the house, down the road to the house where Jesus was staying. But there was a problem. There were people everywhere, people around the doorways, people around the windows. There was no way they were going to get their friend inside that house to see Jesus. One of the friends had a really good idea, and this is what they did. They took the man up the steps, keeping him in his bed, up onto the roof. And the roof in those days was very flat. And it was made out of dirt that had been pressed down. And when they got up to the top, they started to dig. They started to dig up the dirt that made that roof. And after a time, they had made a man-sized hole. The people below must have wondered what was happening. The people in the house must have looked up and saw this hole appearing, and they must have seen all this dirt coming down. Well, the friends up on the roof, they put ropes around the bed, and they very carefully lowered the man on his bed down from the roof down to the floor of the house below. And the man came to land on the floor right near where Jesus was. Jesus looked at the man, and then he looked up at the hole where the 4 kind friends were looking down. And Jesus knew that those 4 friends believed that he could heal this man. Jesus said to the man, "Take heart, your sins are forgiven." Now, this man had come to Jesus to have his legs fixed up, but Jesus knew that the man had an even bigger problem. He needed to know that God had forgiven his sins. That is, God had forgiven all the wrong things this man had ever done or said or thought. Listening to what Jesus just said, though, were some of the Jewish leaders. And when they heard Jesus say what he said about being able to forgive the man's sins, they thought, who does this fellow Jesus think he is? Only God can forgive sins. Well, Jesus knew what they were thinking, and he turned to them and he said, "I am going to show you that I have the power to forgive sins and to make this man walk again." And Jesus said to the man, take up your bed, stand up and walk. And that is exactly what the man did. He stood up and his legs were strong. He then rolled up his bed and he walked through the crowd and walked home. Look how happy he is. He had been fixed up on the outside and on the inside. And all the people looking on were amazed. They had never seen anything like this. And they praised God and thanked him that Jesus had been able to heal this man and forgive his sins. And Jesus could do this because he is the Son of God. Isn't that wonderful? That Jesus is the Son of God. That's our story for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope we can see each other next term, when term starts again. Enjoy your holidays from school and preschool, although I guess you don't go to preschool much at the moment, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.